and welcome to Best Media Info. I am Akanksha Srivastava. We are at Kandla in 2024 and I have with me Amitesh Rao, CEO South Asia, Publicis, Business Publicis, Health and also Leo Burnett. Hello Amitesh, welcome to Best Media Info's platform.
Thank you, happy to be here.
So it's glad to speak to him because this is going to be his first interview as the CEO of Leo Burnett South Asia, Publicis Health and Publicis Business. You've stepped into kind of a role which has already set really high expectations. So how have the 6 months been as a CEO of the company, and why did you choose to take up this role?
Well, it's just the 6 months have been amazing. I really feel like I've come home in many ways. It's an incredible agency. It's got an incredible energy, a very strong talent pool, fantastic client base. We've been doing some very good work, and therefore it's in many ways it's a privilege and an honor to be in this agency and to play this role.
Comes with a lot of responsibilities.
Anything interesting comes with responsibility, and that is part of the challenge. And you don't want anything where you don't have responsibility. So I welcome it and I embrace it, and I'm actually looking forward to it even more now than I was before I walked in a few months ago. I think it was, like I said, it's a great opportunity because, see, the thing is, creativity and creative thinking is going through a very big transformational era, much like the world is around us. And I really believe Burnett is perhaps the only agency in our market that is pushing the envelope of creative thinking in an extremely dramatic and transformational way. And that's what interested me, fundamentally. Of course, they're lovely people, and to me the chemistry was important right from the time I started talking to them many months ago. That was in place, but the thing was the caliber of work and the grammar of work I felt was something that had begun to push envelopes that other creative companies, certainly in our market and in many parts of the world also, are not doing. And to be able to come on board with that and take that to the next level and to consistently and sustainably do that over years is really what I'm here for.
Also for Leo Burnett, I've seen that they just don't make work that's really highly probably purpose driven in terms of changing the society and all, but they also come up with work which is purpose driven in terms of solving business problems.
Yeah.
I think that should be the first goal of agencies actually.
The thing is, these two are not mutually exclusive, and that has always been my belief. See, you have to step back a minute from the business of advertising. That to me, that's actually an outcome. The reality is that the place that the world is in today, our world in general, forget marketing and advertising, but society where it is today, where our civilization is today, is an incredibly transformational phase. Maybe the most transformational phase human civilization has ever seen, right? Navigating phases like this, one of the most important powers humanity has is creativity. And I think the role of a creative agency is to help that.
Okay.
Brands increasingly have become entities that human beings, consumers look up to help them navigate the world. And therefore, when creativity and brands come together, the role you're playing is a much deeper role than selling a product. When you're able to play that role, you'll sell a lot more products as well. And therefore, I think that the ability to what is called purpose, the ability to fuse purpose with creativity automatically leads to business outcomes. And these are not, when done correctly, they're not two different things.
What goals have you set for yourself for the next 6 months then?
Right. I think it's a very large and very complex agency. Much larger than I believed it was. Its complexity comes from the fact that it is the single best pool of talent I have seen in the market by far, and a lot of very eclectic, very young talent, with coming from diverse walks of life, very unconventional kind of people as well. And I think the first thing for me to do was try and look, this is not a job for me where I had to come and fix something that was broken. The heart and soul of the agency, in terms of the core talent pool, is there. right? So my job is to understand that and augment it, and I recognize that, carrying it forward, the first step to that is acknowledging, understanding what is fantastic about Burnett already, and then take that forward. And that's really been a lot of my focus. It's been inward looking at our people, our way of doing work, our way of developing creativity, and of course, a large part of that is our client base. We are the best work Burnett has been doing is working with our biggest brands, and the collaborations with our big brands are really, really good. So getting to understand how our client relationships are, what our client businesses are, this has really been a large part of the first few months. I think we've also started now looking at building capabilities, augmenting our existing talent pool and capabilities where required.
Which capabilities are you building then? Because I think you already got most of it. So what else?
I, you know, I try not to think in silos and in buckets. Some of the people who've come in over the past few months since I've joined, we've had very creative strategists come in. We've had account managers who sometimes you can't make out are they creative people or account managers. So it's really well-rounded, creative thinking professionals who understand business, and I think some of those people have been brought in to augment the existing team.
Okay.
We're also starting to build a lot more capability. We've shown signs of it, by the way, already in our ability to use tech, and particularly data. And that capability we continue to build, and that capability, some of it really, really good capability exists in the Publicis group. We're lucky to be part of a group that's very forward thinking and very well integrated, so we're able to lean
Yesterday I was speaking to Martin Sorrell and he was praising Publicis capabilities in terms of data, tech and AI. He was
Yeah.
saying it's just one holding company which is doing the job really well.
I have to agree with Martin, and that's one of the reasons why I joined here as well. The force of creativity of Burnett, amazing, but augmented and flanked by a group that is very future facing. Not just in its ability to incorporate tech, but also in its ability to drive integration. Too many companies use the word integration, in their credentials.
Loosely as well.
Very loosely. It's a word that has lost meaning. I think this group is genuinely driving that agenda, and I can see it in the last few months. Our ability to work with skill sets and capabilities in the group that are very different from what a core creative company has is excellent. So, and we're building some of that within our own creative company as well. So, I think those are exciting new things to look forward to.
So before this interview you were telling me that you were out of the advertising system probably 5 years ago for almost 10 years and then you returned.
Yeah.
So I'm just curious to know that why did you leave advertising and why did you make a comeback?
Well, let me try and answer that in two ways, right? So I've been in and out of advertising right through actually my career. So I joined advertising by mistake. Out of B school, I spent a couple of years doing a classical sales and marketing job. Was very idealistic. Didn't and then just left it one day and literally sat at home for a few months, not knowing what I want to do with my life. And I met some very cool people in advertising, and I said, let me give this a shot, and I liked it. I enjoyed it. And then the startup bug bit, so I spent 5 years running a software company, and then came back to advertising for 5 years, then left it for 10 years, and
So you
then came
returned
back.
to advertising by chance again?
No, by design. The second time when I came to advertising after my software venture, I came absolutely out of choice. In fact, it was the people who hired me in advertising in the first place who I reached out to and said what kind of opportunities there are, and there was something interesting on the table. So I came back and I did that for maybe 5-6 years, and then I was. At that time, I felt, to be honest, that on the advertising side of the marketing equation, I felt I wasn't able to influence enough. That was partly my immaturity at that time. Partly, I think also the industry was at a point of time where I felt it was losing its relevance and influence on brands a lot. That was my thinking at that point. And I therefore switched to the marketing side. I was CMO of a telecom company for 5-6 years, and then the startup bug bit me again. So I raised some money and I ran a gaming company for a few years. But then I came back to advertising, and there's a philosophical reason and a practical reason.
Acha. What is it?
Well, the fact of the matter is, human nature, when you lose something, you really understand its value when it's not in your life. And not being closely part of the creative process in my professional life for almost 10 years, made me fully realize how dear it was to me, how much I loved the creative thinking process. See, outside of my professional life, I have, from the time I was born, I've been very close to creativity. My father was a finance guy who was a brilliant watercolor artist.
Okay.
So, from the time I was a little baby, I've seen him paint, and I used to be fascinated by art. I was married to someone who was a brilliant artist again. My best friends have been musicians and dancers, and I have been close to the creative community in my personal life in many ways. And in advertising, even professionally, I was close to it. But when I was out of it for quite a long time, I thoroughly enjoyed what I did in some ways. But I realized I missed this also a lot. I realized the love I have for creative thinking and the respect I had for the ability of creative thinking to change things more than anything else perhaps in the world. And that led me to think, when I was at a crossroads after my gaming venture, that this is what I'd like to do. And after I've come back, I feel this is it. I don't think I'm going to
So now you're here to stay in advertising.
Yeah, I just love it too much.
And I hope the startup bug doesn't bite you again.
No, if it does, then we'll do something with creativity. That much I'm sure, right? It is too much a part of what I love and respect and admire to keep away from my life. I have figured that much out.
So my audience would like to know what kind of person you are. So are you like a workaholic, or you believe that there should be like a work-life balance? People should get time for their families and for themselves. How do you look at the world? How do you look at doing business?
I mean, work-life balance is a very, very Gen Z term. Look, if you love what you're doing, then that's what you do. This is my way of looking at it, right? I love what I do. I loved what I've done. All the different sort of permutations I've tried in my life, I have liked doing them, and therefore I have worked very hard. I am a hard worker. I am someone who's deeply committed to whatever I'm doing, and I give it all the time in the world. But that being said, you see, I also think that you are as good to give as what you absorb, and therefore sitting in one environment, in one context, within four walls, is not going to help your personality, your capability, your intellect, your creativity, and therefore your ability to contribute is not going to be very good unless you are absorbing the world around you. And therefore it is important to have interests, hobbies, loves, passions that are in the world at large. I have many, and my work and creative thinking is perhaps one of the most important, but I have several others. And I think it is an important part of any human being to have multi-dimensional interests, to be able to enjoy many different things. That's when you
So that you definitely need time.
Of course you need time, but I create time. I mean, I am a very, very enthusiastic sim racer. I have a simulation rig of my own. I've done maybe 10,000 hours plus of racing on the simulator on extremely technical tracks using very technical cars with setups and engineering and all of that stuff. And yes, I have found time for it. I read a lot. I love doing nothing and watching Netflix when I get time, like many people do. So there's a lot of stuff that I do. and I do find time for it, and I believe you can. So, do I have a? Am I a workaholic? I wouldn't say that. No. Am I incredibly committed to my work? Oh yes, and more committed than maybe anything else. But life is a pizza, and there are many slices in that pizza, and I eat from all those slices. So
That's a beautiful description about yourself. Okay, so coming to my next question, it's a generic question, but your answer will actually make the difference. So this question is about. So I keep on talking to a lot of people, leadership people, people who've left the industry, or people who are still doing good work. They say that we are in a times when average work is being produced, except for a few pieces of work that come out, and they have this belief that probably we'll come back to the times probably 10 years ago when we were doing really well. So do you also think the same way that we are, don't think that I'm pointing fingers at Lubenet, but as an industry, like as a whole, we're not giving our best, probably. There's something missing, average काम हो रहा है, and we need, and but you're hopeful about it, that we'll come back.
yeah, I actually don't want to think of it as using the adjectives of good or bad or average. वो axis गलत axis है. Are we doing as an industry? I'm saying, as a
So then we can say
creative
that
industry.
running campaigns, not big idea-led campaigns.
Yeah. So here's the thing: are we doing enough of the kind of transformational creative work that makes a difference in the world today? No, we are not. Definitely, we are not as an industry. It's not a comment on the caliber of work, but here, when we started, I was talking about something I very deeply believe in. Creativity is the most transformational force human beings have. Are we harnessing that enough? Are we even understanding that we have that power as creative people? I'm not sure we are. And I think we have to push ourselves as an industry more and more to understand that, our ability to imagine, our ability to use creative solutions to change something and dramatically transform something is a very powerful ability. And we have to drive that. Now, the thing is, the ways to drive that have changed, right? The days when the gut health of a creative director defines the future of a brand are gone. वो दिन गए, right? It's not about a personality anymore. It's about a process of creativity, because a lot of it has got democratized. We have technology, we have tools, we have data. There's a lot of new ways to build creative thinking, and I think we have to harness those to demonstrate where creativity can take us. Take brands, take businesses, take human beings, take communities, take the planet at every level. Do we need to do more of that work? Absolutely. I don't think we're doing enough. As an industry, we are not.
So you've got this thinking since the time you worked with McCann and Lubenet, or you've always thought like this about creativity?
I've always thought like this. It's just that the ability to do this in the last 5-6 years has dramatically gone up. Thanks to tech. Fundamentally, that's the biggest new intervention in society, right?
But some people are using tech and AI just like a bandwagon, because everybody is doing, so we should also do something with it.
But वो तो करना है ना. I mean,
but
you will be
using
left
it in
behind.
unique ways.
Exactly. That is the point. You see, when the internet came, it changed everything for us, right? But there were some people who understood how to leverage the internet for business, for brands, for creative thinking, for social change, better than others. And it's the same today. Everyone has to adopt these new technologies. That's a no-brainer. We already adopted. I mean, वो तो पुरानी बात हो गई है. This word called AI that is all over everyone uses it at the drop of a hat. But pretty much every agency in some form or the other is deployed it already. That's not nothing interesting or new in it.
So I understand on the MarTech side, on the media side, marketers are deploying AI, generative AI, MarTech really well. But how brave are they? How brave are they in terms of creativity? They're bringing the AI aspect, the creative campaign side of the.
We're experimenting. and I think bravery is defined by experimentation, not by anything else. Because look, the truth is, anyone who says I'm an expert with AI doesn't know what they're saying. Because the creators of AI don't know where it's going. And it's at a very early stage, the technology itself. We know it's very powerful, we know it's very transformative, but we don't know exactly where it's going. And it's mutating at every month. And therefore, the best we can do is to experiment with it, keep trying it, building new things with it. Some will work, some will not, but the best work is going to be that which experiments with it. So there is a logistical side of AI deployment which Gen AI both agencies use कर रही हैं to be able to generate visuals and do all of that stuff. Everyone's doing now, but there's a lot more that can be done with it. We've tried to do a little bit. For example, if you've seen our Oreo campaign, थोड़ा उधर try किया है. We are certainly using it in our daily workflows and processes to make life a lot easier for our people. Publicis Group has a very good core AI platform which integrates all data points across the group into one source that allows us a lot of insight. So there are things that we are doing, but you want to recognize that bravery, the word you used, bravery, na, it is our ability to experiment with a technology that no one fully understands.
Okay, so in the next answer, I want you to actually throw a truth bomb. What is that one thing or two thing that really bothers you the way agencies function?
Okay, so let me, I'm not going to treat this as a negative question. Let me tell you what I like about what's changing in the agency business, right? What I like is that what we are seeing as the democratization of creativity, I think is a fantastic thing. And therefore, the more agencies that are adopting that, are embracing it, are doing better and will do better and are more future facing.
When you say democratization of
I
creativity,
mean that I talked a little bit about it earlier. The era when a fabulous creative agency was defined by one creative person,
okay,
or one creative genius with a lot of talent, of course, but one creative genius. We're recognizing that era is gone, right? And therefore, why is that happening? That's happening because of how technology is allowing the barriers to creative expression to be taken away. I mean, there was a time where if I did not myself if I myself was not a very fine writer, I could not craft an ad. If I myself was not a fabulous art director, I could not be doing visuals. That tech is helping us quickly bridge those gaps where it is pure thinking rather than executional craft that matters.
okay,
So therefore, more people are able to contribute to the creative process. Because if your mind thinks creatively, then the execution technology can help you with. It can't take it over. Maybe one day it will, but it's certainly helping you with, right? So, like in Burnett, you will meet a lot of people who you'll spend half an hour with them, and at the end of that half an hour, you will say, "Hey, are you account management? Are you creative? Are you planning? What are you?" You can't make out. The lines are very blurred in our agency. We love it. We love it like that because
but does that mean that there's nothing that you think is wrong about the system?
you're pushing me to talk about.
You just told me that what you like about.
Yes, I think this is.
So there's nothing that bothers you.
The flip side is what bothers me, right? Let's just leave it at that. If you are in a very legacy form of creativity, that's not going to be looking forward.
So don't you think that we are selling our services at a cheaper cost than what others are selling globally?
Of course. So now these are very specific industry issues that I think as a body, as a group, we have to investigate and look inwards very closely. I think pricing is a problem for sure. I think our ability to value what we do, and not only commercially, even in terms of the power it has, is we do a lot more powerful things than we ourselves believe. So at a philosophical level, at a business model level, at a commercial level, yes, there's a lot of stuff that this
So you
industry
think
needs
that
to work with.
as independents, as individuals, we can't bring about that change. It's the collective ecosystem that has to come together and
Yes,
demand.
you are an industry at the end of the day, and you have
So
to
there are
behave
forums in
like that.
India where we can take our problems like AAA, IA and all.
Right.
So aren't these topics discussed there?
Yeah, I'm sure this is the case in any industry. When you reach inflection points, when you reach points that call for collective transformation, it gathers momentum and it reaches a place where people come together. And I think it's inevitable. It's going to happen.
So is there something that you wish to tell me or tell our audience and I haven't asked you in my interview?
This is, I think, what is at the heart. I'll talk a little bit about Burnett, right? And at the heart of what our belief system is. We've been saying this for a while now that we exist to impact 1 billion lives. The best creative thinking, the best creative work is that which impacts at scale. We continue to do that, and the work we have at Cannes, for example, is a fabulous example of it. And all of it leads to very strong business outcomes. But the heart of creativity is for us the biggest transformative force that exists with humanity today, and we try to leverage creativity by layering it with culture and technology. That is how we do our work, right? That's how we do our best work, and we think human imagination is just magic. You can bring all the technology in the world, all the AI in the world, but the best algorithm human beings have is imagination. We are such fierce protectors and believers in imagination that I think that is the fuel which gives us the strength and the power to do our best work. And that is the kind of work that you will increasingly see us do going forward. So I think we are fiercely proud of what we do. We are very ambitious, and there are a lot more you're going to hear from us going forward. Hopefully next year when we meet here, we'll have a lot of more new things to talk about as well.
Sure. Thank you so much, Amitesh. Thank you for speaking to us.
It was my pleasure. Lovely to talk to
Hope
you.
you have a wonderful time here.
Thank you. All the best to you.